Are you considering moving to Las Vegas, but you still aren't quite sure if it's the right place for you? Believe me, I totally get it. Personally, I was super skeptical about making the move and took some major convincing. But honestly, I'm so glad that I did because I absolutely love it here and I know that you will too. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down 5 pros and cons of living in Las Vegas that should help you decide if this is the right place for you. Let's get into it. Hey everyone, I'm Ananda with eXp Realty and I've been making real estate dreams come true since 2016. If at any point during this video you have any questions about Las Vegas or the real estate market, please drop a comment below or book a call with me using the contact info in the video description below. This is all my personal opinion, but here are my top 5 pros and cons for living in Las Vegas. Pro number 1, the tax benefits. There is no state income tax here in Nevada. So if you're moving from out of state, whatever you were currently paying in state income tax, you are automatically getting to pocket that money, which is pretty amazing. It's also incredibly tax friendly to LLCs. So if you own an LLC or you are self-employed, it allows this thing called domestication of an LLC, which lets you port over the tax history and EIN number of that LLC so that you don't have to start from scratch, which if you're trying to acquire properties, rentals, or decide that you want to move down the road, having to start over with an LLC can be a big pain. So that's pretty amazing. And if you own a corporation, there's also no corporate income tax, which is pretty awesome as well. Pro number 2, the cost of living. Everything here is more affordable. And obviously that's subjective because it really depends on where you're moving from, if you're coming from out of state or if you already live here, obviously. But if you're moving from a state like California or New York or Oregon, where the cost of living is substantially higher, you automatically are going to find that your dollar just goes so much further here. For me personally, I lived in LA for almost a decade. The state income tax there was 13.3%, which is just makes my skin crawl thinking about it. And what I'm paying for now compared to what I was paying for my 2-bedroom apartment in LA gets me a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,600 square foot house. So it's pretty incredible how much further your dollar can go here. You can eat as efficiently as you want to. There are cheap restaurants that are off strip. There's fine dining and high-end stuff if that's your thing, but you can essentially live much more cost effectively here, which is pretty great. So again, that lets you save for all of those fun things and activities that you really want to do, which brings me to my pro number 3, the things to do and the experiences. Guys, this is America's playground, Sin City. When you live here, the strip will get pretty old after a while, and we'll get into that a little bit later as to why. But there are so many things to do there. You have world-class entertainers, musicians, artists, chefs, things to do, activities, literally in your backyard. So it's always there for you. Whatever you want to do, whether or not you're into gambling, sporting events, or you just like to get out of town, places like Big Bear, Mount Charleston, places in Utah are literally a couple of hours away. So the proximity of everything to Las Vegas is also really incredible. And it's one of my favorite things about it. This leads me to pro number 4, the food. I'm a big foodie. I love to eat. I love to experience different types of food. I love to go out for a bougie cocktail. That's just kind of my thing. And if you like to eat, there is no shortage of restaurants here. Las Vegas boasts over 4,300 restaurants as well as 10 Michelin-starred restaurants with incredible celebrity chefs like Bobby Flay, Julian Serrano, Jose Andres, Gordon Ramsay, and so much more. So no matter what type of cuisine that you're looking for or enjoy, there is literally something for everyone. And it is one of my absolute favorite things about living here in Las Vegas. Pro number 5, the weather. Guys, we get 320 days of sunshine here. It is beautiful and sunny 9 months out of the year. The weather is very tepid. The winters are mild. It is a desert, so you definitely do need to prepare for that if you're coming from a place where you're used to humidity or that's a little bit more lush, because it is a little bit of an adjustment. But collectively, the weather is amazing here. If you're liking this video so far, do me a favor and drop a comment below and let me know what you're most excited about moving to Las Vegas. Now, let's get into the bad. All right, guys. So con number 1 happens to be pro number 5. It is the weather. So again, like I said before, if you are moving from out of state or a place where you are used to humidity or lush greenery, It is a high desert here. It is arid, it is dry, and that definitely takes some acclimating to. Get yourself some humidifiers because 3 months out of the year, it is triple digit plus heat. Your air conditioning bill is going to skyrocket because you are literally never going to want to leave your house. Every time I do, it's like walking into a convection oven and I am just roasting. So for me, being from the East Coast originally and actually really liking humidity, that was quite an adjustment for me. But otherwise, it's only 2 to 3 months out of the year, and we do get some rain during those months, although this particular year has been a little bit dry. Con number 2, the lack of resources. Guys, the drought and the water supply issue here is a legitimate thing, and I totally understand being concerned about it. If you are from a place where water is abundant, that is one of the biggest topics and one of the biggest questions that I get from people who are moving from out of state here is the water supply issue. I'm not gonna get into it too much here because it deserves its own video, so I will be posting a video later specifically about that issue, but just know that Las Vegas is one of the most water efficient cities in the country. We reuse everything. Everything that gets poured down a drain is recycled and put back into Lake Mead. They are going to be, looking at different ways to really try and help us to preserve that water. And being water efficient here really just is a way of life for people who live in the desert. Electricity is another resource that people talk about a lot or have concerns about. I have not experienced rolling blackouts here, but it is a very real potentiality and reality in terms of electricity usage. Con number 3, the lack of nature. So again, this is a desert. The majority of the plants here are all going to be succulents and drought resistant in order to preserve water. And, if you live in an HOA like I do, I'm in an area called Southwest in Rhodes Ranch, and they have imported palm trees and a lot of greenery to try and simulate some of that oasis-like feeling. But collectively, when you are driving through the city and around the areas, it is red rocks and arid. So if you are a nature person who loves hiking and all of that greenery, fear not, there are some things that are available. They have nature conservancies, butterfly reserves, and Mount Charleston, which is like 45 minutes away, that allows you to at least get that nature fix. But it is definitely something to consider if that is a major way of life for you. Con number 4, when you tell people you're moving to Las Vegas, literally everyone is going to want to come and visit you. They will want to come and stay with you. They're going to want you to take them to the Strip. I know when I moved here, all of my friends, all of my family came and visited, and they want you to play tour guide. And not that that isn't cool, it was fun at first, but it gets pretty tired and can be really expensive when everyone's like, let's go to the Strip, right? Let's go to all these restaurants, let's do all these events, let's go to all of these things. It's super fun, but to be perfectly honest, the Strip is great, but for residents that live here, they may not be going there all the time. I know I certainly don't, because a bunch of drunk transient tourists, kind of crazy people on the Strip and places like Fremont is a little bit overstimulating. Totally depends on your perspective. For me, that's one of those things that I just kind of thought was funny and noticed when I did move here in terms of how frequently I was getting visited. Con number 5. This one actually surprised me, but it's the drivers. And guys, I don't say that lightly because I lived in LA again for close to a decade, so I have seen some wild stuff. I mean, really crazy driving. But I was really shocked to see how terrible the drivers were here in Vegas. It honestly kind of blew my mind, which, I mean, thinking about it now, I guess if the majority of people are coming here or relocating here from California, since there was that major exodus, that kind of makes sense. No offense, California. I hear you. I've been there. Well, I hope you got some value out of this video. And if you are considering a move to Las Vegas and have some questions, want to talk more about the market and your potential move, please don't hesitate to book a call with me at the information below. I would be happy to talk to you about all things real estate and Las Vegas. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.